Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet for May 20th, 2023. For everyone watching live, thanks for being a good audience and enjoying the show here live. For those watching on demand, this is part 5 of 6. So I hope you've been enjoying the show all week long as you watched it as it unfolded on the channel. Remember, the best way to support this channel and for you to be a part of this show every week is to become a channel member. If you're an Ultra member, we're guaranteed to watch your video. If you're a standard member, well, there's a community post you post up in, and we do first come, first serve. That's how we get the videos for the show. Now, also, a lesser-known factoid is that if you are a super member who's between those two levels, kind of the middle level of membership, I will answer some questions for you live on the show. And this week we have one person who took advantage of that, and I'd like to read their question and answer for them in detail here before we continue on with the show. All right? So, here we go. Hi, Phil. When your YouTube channel became serious and we made it into your business, so this would have been late 2010 into early 2011, okay? So we're talking a good, 12 plus years ago. What was your parents' reaction when you told them? Were they surprised or proud? Some parents of our generation sadly may lack the knowledge of the World Wide Web and how successful it can be for some people, and I'm wondering. Thanks. Okay. Story time. You ready for a little bit of story time? Well, that's not the layout I was expecting. I forgot to turn off this stuff. Hold on. We'll do just a little bit of story time here for you guys, okay? So, here's the deal. When I became a YouTuber in 2008, it wasn't my intention that I would ever do anything with it besides just a mess-around hobby, all right? I never thought I would do this for a living or be a YouTuber. Like, the whole word YouTuber wasn't even a thing back then. When I first started doing this for a job, I didn't know what to call it. People would ask me, what do you do? I'm a videographer? I don't know. What am I, right? I did this for about 2-3 years as a hobby, 2.5 years roughly. And then out of nowhere, I was laid off from my full-time job, which was an office job that I had for about 4.5 years. And when this happened, it blindsided me. I'd done things for that job. Like I had bought a condo near where the job was. I had made life changes so that I could basically work this job. And I was thinking about doing it for the long term, for the rest of my life. And then when I got laid off, it was a shocker. And my parents were also like, oh God, what are you going to do? And the job sector in Connecticut at that time where I used to live was bad. The job market was awful. There weren't any other kind of jobs that were hiring in that sector. So I really didn't know what was going to happen. I had a few months of unemployment. I had been given unemployment benefits from the job when I was laid off. I was like, well, I have enough money essentially to pay for things for like 2-3 months. So I have a little bit of time to try to make stuff work. Now at this time, late 2010 when this happened, I was an up-and-coming YouTuber. I'd done YouTube for about 2.5 years. People liked my content. I was actually known as almost like the underdog of the internet. I didn't have any sponsorships, partnerships. I wasn't with any group. No one was pushing my content. It was more just a guy alone on the internet making gameplay. And that's all it really was. It was just a silly thing. And so when I basically decided, hey, let's give this a shot, because if I don't do YouTube for a living and it doesn't work out, essentially everything's going to change. I might have to sell my condo. I might have to change my whole life because I can't afford all this. Like I said, there was no equivalent jobs that I could have gone to in the job market in Connecticut to make what I was making at the office job. I would have had to basically, maybe move back in with my parents and all kinds of stuff, okay? And so, basically, what I decided to do as I was collecting... Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't... let me take that back. Did I say unemployment? It wasn't unemployment. It was a severance package. What do they call it? When you get laid off from a job, they give you a package that lasts a few months, right? I can't remember what it's called. It wasn't a severance. What is it called? It wasn't unemployment. I never filed for unemployment. That's incorrect. I said the wrong thing because some people are saying, you filed for unemployment? You never said that before. No, I completely misspoke. I never had unemployment benefits. Is it called a severance package? That's what it was. It was a severance package where I had gotten laid off. They gave me enough pay to make up for like 3 months. All right. So I was going to lose my health benefits. I was going to lose everything basically. And so when I had the 3 months or so to figure out what I wanted to do, I did go out there and apply for different jobs and stuff. But at the same time, I said, I wonder if I can make YouTube work as a job. And so I started doing my own thing. And at that time, I still had the gaming channel, DSP Gaming. This channel existed, but it wasn't monetized. Because back then, you couldn't just monetize gameplay videos. But I had another channel, a vlogging channel, and I said, well, that's monetized, and I make a little bit of money on there. and I was trying to figure out how to make ends meet or whatever. And what happened was, when I told my story of how I had lost my job, right? And I didn't know what I was going to do, because if YouTube didn't work out as a job, which I had never intended, all right, you know, basically I'd be up shit's creek. I'd lose everything. People resonated with that, and people started supporting my content. They started watching the hell out of the ads, and I hate to say it, basically clicking on all the ads on all my videos on my vlogging channel. And what ended up happening was, within like 2 months, I was making insane amounts of money on YouTube. And I went to my parents and showed them. I was like, look at how much money I'm actually making. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, no exaggeration. I was making, you know, over $10,000 a month on just a couple vlogs that I was pumping out on this channel. It didn't make sense. How could I be doing videos on a channel that's vlogging, and I was making $10,000+ a month just on the ad revenue on this one channel? You know, it was insane. So I knew it wasn't going to be sustainable, but I showed it to my parents, and they were like blown away, and they were like, what in the holy hell? Like, they couldn't believe it. I was showing them the numbers. They would come over to my house, and I would show them, look at, here's the statistics of what it's saying I'm making on these ads. And of course they were like, well, can that be sustainable? And I was like, no, I don't know how it could be, but I mean, here's what it's been. It lasted about a month and a half, basically 2 months roughly. And then YouTube basically said, yeah, this isn't kosher. People are coming to your videos and they're clicking. This is not normal activity, and therefore we're suspending your AdSense, and you're not going to make any more money on your videos. So then what ended up happening was, I got partnered with Machinima. Through that partnership with Machinima, I was able to put ads on all my gameplay videos, and that's really when I started making the big money. I mean, there were some months I was making insane money back then, because back then the ad revenue was sky high on YouTube. So then it was funny, because all this happens, right? And as all this is happening, my parents and I go to a Chinese restaurant, and at the end of the meal, we get fortune cookies. We open the fortune cookie, and it says, I shit you not, it says on the fortune, you know, moving forward, you won't have to worry about money anymore. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, how on earth is that a fortune? Because typically when you go to like a Chinese restaurant, the fortune is something so generic. This one was like specific to my situation of what was going on. And I was like, how exactly could that be? How could that be the fortune I just got? And I saved it, and I put it on my refrigerator at home to show it wasn't fake or anything. And it was crazy, because then I started being a full-time YouTuber, partnered with Machinima, and I started making crazy money. It was wild. Now, my parents didn't really watch my content. Here's the thing. I'm a gamer. They don't care about video games. They never did. My dad was never really into them. The only games he knew about were the ones he played with me when I was in the 1980s. He never got into gamer culture or anything. He didn't care. My mom, she's not even on the internet. So to them, what I was doing was like this weird, wild new world that, you know, they're not familiar with. So they didn't know about it. They didn't really care about it. They don't watch the content. They just don't, you know. You want to know what they did watch? Cooking with the King. They watched the Cooking with the King videos of me trying to cook and being stupid and not knowing what I was doing. They laughed at them because they thought they were funny, because they got what I was going for with those. Okay? But outside of that, you know, they don't really watch anything. So to them, it was like, whoa, so you're going to be able to do this crazy thing on the internet that's kind of unorthodox. You're going to make a good amount of money doing it, right? That's crazy. But the thing is, I don't think any of us really knew that there would be longevity to it or anything. For our attitude was always kind of, we called it ride the wave. You know, there's going to be ups and downs, but definitely ride the wave and see how long it takes us and how far it takes us. Because one day I might have to stop doing it and do something different. But at least now, you know, for the short term, this is something that it looks viable that I can do. And let's be honest, in the last, 12, 13 years I've been doing this for a job, things have changed absolutely dramatically, right? Dramatically. To the point where now I barely even do the same thing. Can you even argue that today I'm making the same kind of content or whatever? Of course not. It's so different. But, to me, it has been a wild ride that was worth riding. And I absolutely love what I do today. But my parents never really reacted in a negative way. I will tell you this. My mom was always skeptical and like, how long are you going to make this happen? How can you keep going? One day you're going to have to transition out of it. But here's the thing, and here's really the major difference here. The transition that's happening isn't exactly what was expected. The transition is you can't just play video games for the rest of your life, right? That's correct. I really, there's no way. I'm 41 years old. I can't just sit around playing games for the rest of my life. It ain't gonna work. But transitioning into different styles of content, literally vlogging, podcasting, the React content I'm doing right now, and other things as I get older, phasing out all of the gameplay and instead having that be more of a balance between other topics and other kinds of content, I do feel like I can make this happen long term. There's enough people who are interested in me and my opinions on things and hanging out with me on a daily basis to support this being my occupation. And I didn't really see that back then. Back then it was just gaming. Gaming was what was going to pay the bills. Gaming was the big thing. But now I've seen how things have changed, and in a lot of ways the gaming thing isn't necessarily really the big thing anymore a lot of times. I mean, yeah, if a big game comes out and I get a big boost in views or whatever, yes, but for the most part, let's be honest, things are changing on YouTube and everywhere else. And you got to move with those changes. And people aren't just looking for someone to sit here and talk about games all day, every day anymore. You know what I mean? But today, because, years ago, I had a conversation with my mom. And she was basically like, you're probably going to have to phase out from doing YouTube and get an in real life job. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of agreed with her. And then the pandemic happened. And we looked at that situation and we were like, dude, if I didn't have a YouTube job during the pandemic, I probably would have lost everything. Because any job that I would have had, I likely would have gotten laid off or lost. And I would have lost my house. I would have lost my livelihood. It would have been the end of everything. Thank God I had an internet-based job that I could continue to do and entertain people who at that time were very, very distraught over what was happening in the world and in their personal lives, So it would have been crazy to quit what I was doing because I actually would have screwed myself over inadvertently. So now instead of being, listen, there's absolutely no way that I can continue to do gameplay for the rest of my life. But my plan is to transition into other kinds of content, which I've been doing, if you haven't noticed, and it's been successful. So now my parents don't, do they ask me, what are you doing? No, I tell them every once in a while, hey, I'm doing a special marathon. Hey, I got a podcast. They don't care. They really don't care. I don't think they've really ever watched the content. To them, it was just weird that I found a way to transition from, IRL jobs, in-person office jobs, retail jobs, into something that was internet-based. But since the major focus of my content is gaming, I don't really think they give a shit. They never really watched it. They never really talked about it. They're happy for me, obviously, that I can do what I love for a living. But at the same time, they're aware of all the ups and downs and things I've been through. I tell them. I talk to them every single week. I tell them all what's going on in my life. So they're well aware of all the big, good, positive things and the horrible things that can happen being an internet content creator. So there you go. No, I'm pretty sure my parents are not in line or knowledgeable about all the content I'm putting out. They don't care. But they're certainly happy that I found a way to keep going at a time in my life that could have essentially been the end of my life at that point, and kind of going into insane issues with, losing everything in my life, and who knows what would have happened if I didn't find a way to make YouTube my living back then, right? Okay. All right. Now we're going to continue on with the reacting, guys. Now that I've answered that question very thoroughly. Okay? Let's continue.
Hello, everyone. This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello.
Running on Empty Food Review. The name of your channel is The Report of the Week. And the name is Little Caesar's New Pretzel Crust Pizza Review. But I guess the name of his show is Running on Empty Food Review? That's confusing. So I've seen this guy before. I don't know what he goes by on the internet, but I've seen his clips and videos before, but I never watched one.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, The Report of the Week. Thanks for checking in.
The Report of the Week.
I have gotten so many requests for this item that I decided, even though I know I just did a video, I thought,
what you looking at? He's not looking at the camera.
The demand is there. People want to see it. Let's try it out. Let's just give it a shot. Let's just go right into another review. So that precisely is what I am doing today. Little Caesars has brought back their pretzel crust pizza. Now this item, I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, the second... No,
this reminds me of my old style of video. This totally reminds me of me, how I used to do videos. He looks like he's looking at a camera and he's adjusting the camera. This totally reminds me of me, how I used to do stuff, right? Really. I mean, he's definitely different. He's well-dressed, which I didn't used to do. And he's actually way more formal, well-spoken. And look at his hair. Like, he's all fancy, made up for the video. But that's kind of the style I used to do in my old vlogging stuff.
Third time, I think that this item is on the Little Caesars menu. It was originally released back in the year 2014. Then they brought it back for a limited time in early 2019. And now here we are in early 2023. And it once again has returned. So what is the pretzel crust pizza?
I don't know.
I think the name is pretty straightforward. I think we would all...
Can we just see it rather than talk about it? Hold on. Wow, he's really in depth. He's giving, like, insane amounts of information. Jesus. Okay, here it is. I want to see it.
With that thing.
Little Caesar's mascot.
Looks like it's a little, like a little playing card or something.
A playing card is supposed to be a smartphone.
With a disc on it. I don't know if that's supposed to be a UFO or...
A UFO? That's
but
it's a phone with a piece of pizza on
have it.
He thinks it's a playing card?
It's a save time machine. Oh, so that's what it is. It's a save time machine. And here is the pizza. Alright, let's take a look at this.
Wait a minute.
Let's focus.
Hold on a second. That's Little Caesars? That doesn't look that bad. I'm shocked. It doesn't look that bad. I'm tearing up. I'm shocked. Like, wait, what? He opened like a fast food pizza. I gotta take my glasses off for a second. The cheese looks perfectly cooked. You can see there's browning and bubbling in the cheese. The pepperoni looks toasted to the point where it's actually like peeling up, right? The crust looks like it might actually be like a thick, chewy crust. And they put some, they put some pretzel salt on it. That doesn't look bad. All right, let's see. Let's continue. Now I'm fascinated by this.
Camera on it, if I can.
It doesn't look bad at all. The pieces are huge. Look at the size of those pieces.
From a point of view, at least, as far as aesthetically pleasing, doesn't look bad.
No, it looks good.
I would say this actually resembles the ad pretty accurately.
That's crazy looking. Like, it's super good for a fast food pizza.
Oily and greasy.
I'm completely blown away at how it looks.
Crust.
It looks delicious.
You can see that, almost like that orange-yellow hue to the cheese. And, I'd say it looks as advertised. And let's get a slice.
I wonder how much it costs.
How about we go with this slice right here? Let's get a closer look. Alright.
Mega Man NT says this guy once reviewed a bottle of water. His shtick is that he's completely oblivious. I guess he takes everything insanely seriously. Gotcha.
Now, if you actually look real close...
The dough looks pretty good.
It's tough to see. But do you see near the tip of the pizza, see how it looks more yellow? And then as we go further in, it looks more white. That yellow there, that is the, I believe that's the cheddar cheese sauce.
Oh.
Because again, there's no tomato sauce, no marinara
sauce.
So that's the cheddar cheese sauce. You can see the glistening pepperoni.
Oh, no. There's a cheddar cheese sauce on pizza. I take it all back. That's absolutely disgusting. Who would want cheddar cheese sauce on their pizza? A marinara sauce. There's nothing wrong with cheddar cheese. Oh, it's a trick. It looks good. It's got to be disgusting. Cheddar cheese sauce.
Of the crust.
See, the thickness
salt,
of the dough looks good,
so
and it looks like the crust would be crispy but chewy.
So
like the dough looks fine.
For the sake of my dental work, I'll eat this carefully, but I will, for the heck of it, take a careful bite for all of you watching, because I know some people have said they've missed the eating segments. I know, I miss them too.
Wait,
but,
what? He doesn't eat the food?
I'll take a bite, then I'll pause the camera, and we'll get to the assessment.
He does a food series, he doesn't eat the food? And now this is a rare thing, he eats it? I mean, how do you review food if you don't eat it? I'm definitely confused.
So let's find out how good or bad this is. The Little Caesars pretzel crust pizza going in. just resuming things real quick, just because now you can see there's a real good look. You can see the cheddar cheese sauce right there.
Ugh.
And I'm just going to get to the rest of the slice. Alright, and now getting the camera out of focus. There we go.
So he is doing it just like I used to. He has a camera that he sets up. He records himself. This is exactly how I used to do it. First, I was recording just the food. Then I would record me eating the food with a camera. So it is my old style. Huh.
Right out the slice, I have a little bit of the crust remaining. And I bring good news. My main problem back in 2019 was that the pizza was just way too salty. That was my main complaint back then.
It does look really salty with all this salt on it.
Obviously, it was a novelty. When I try out these sorts of novelty items, they are treated thusly. I'm not going to compare this to a regular pizza, because it's supposed to be different. But I have good news. I think Little Caesars actually realized the mistake that they made in the previous versions of the pizza, and they improved upon it.
He keeps getting distracted and looking at something to the side of the camera. I wonder what it is. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what it is because I used to do this. He has a camcorder that has the screen that flips and it pops out the side. So he's looking at himself on the screen. That's exactly what it is. He's using a handheld camcorder that has the flip screen. So he sees himself on the flip screen, but it's slightly off the center. So that, dude, this guy, wow. Did I actually inspire someone to do something on the internet and they got successful? That's crazy, and I'm happy for him. He's taking this seriously. He's doing it in a very professional manner. It looks like he's damn popular for doing it. 273,000 views. Good for him. Good for him. Yes. No. 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 A standing ovation. A standing ovation. I can't believe it. Yes. Yes. That's good. Thank God. Because let me tell you, I couldn't keep doing it. Remember? I couldn't. I had to stop doing these. I told you guys I couldn't keep eating this food. And I didn't want to keep having my meals become a video for the internet. So I'm happy that someone has taken the idea and ran with it and gotten huge. That's cool. Because this is 1,000,000% my style of how I used to do it. He's even having the same things I used to do, which is pretty crazy. So, good for him. I'm very happy for him. I'm glad that he's doing, 273,000 views on a food vlog. This is, when I used to do DSP Tries It, it used to more than pay for itself. Like, I go spend $20, $30 on a meal that would be an expensive thing, like a big pizza or whatever. But then the video would actually make, a good amount of views and money on it, so it would be justifiable. This guy, and then 273,000 views, he's probably making good bank on this. So good for him. I seriously, this is awesome. I'm glad that someone has, and then by the way, again, he's kind of different, right? Very different in his style. How many guys do you see dress up professionally looking like this to do a food vlog? It's interesting.
Very salty pizza, but what I have noticed is the cheddar cheese sauce, interestingly enough, actually has more of a potent, for lack of a better word, sharpness to it.
It's a sharp cheddar cheese sauce.
Some of the other saltiness that you would notice on this pizza.
I wouldn't like it.
So as a result, in each bite,
I can't eat.
Now it tastes more cheesy.
Eat cheddar cheese on pizza, man.
Salty.
This is not happening.
As you're eating the pizza itself, of course, it's not overly crunchy or anything. It's a pretty soft pizza, your standard hand-tossed variety. It's very cheesy, though, and again, you could mostly taste that sharpness of the the cheddar cheese sauce, as well as, especially the mozzarella cheese.
Here's the deal. If you like this, that's good on you, and you can like it. It might for you, if you like pretzels with cheddar cheese, that sounds like the pizza would probably be pretty good, but for me, like, I'm so used to the Italian style. You gotta have the marinara. You've gotta have the classic cheese. I'd probably hate this, but the review is good. The review is good quality, and he's going crazy into detail. 12 minutes, and he actually edited it. He cut it up, which is good. Wow. See, I see this guy all the time. I see like things like clips of his or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's interesting that someone's kind of doing food reviews, and now to come to find out it's in my old style, and he's doing really well. I mean, super thumbs up to this guy. I'm impressed, and I wish him well. I hope that he continues to be successful on the internet with what he's doing. I think this is excellent. All right? Awesome. All right. I wonder if we have time for one more before we split the part. I don't know. Let's see.
I got a bullet bill!
Nice. I got triple red shells. What did you get?
You want to know what I got? Oh my god, I didn't get last. I didn't get last. I didn't get last! Love that enthusiasm. Are you ready for mirror mode and 200cc? No. Too bad. Perish.
So this is supposed to be modern Mario Kart players. Oh, okay. It's a bunch of Mario Kart memes. At first, I didn't understand it. I was like, huh? Okay.
Might be able to actually take second place. And... hey man, what's up? You know the finish line is right there, right? What are you doing still here? Oh, hey man, come on, right? We're friends, right? I mean, you don't have to throw that at me. The race is over. You can finish right now. Come on, man, I just want to get second place!
Wait a minute. No Funky Kong? No Flame Runner? Okay, guys, I think we can all come to an agreement. No more Baby Park, please. Okay, it's just a little circle. There's 12 of us. Way too chaotic. It's just not a good time. Okay, so no more Baby Park, please.
I actually really enjoy Baby Park.
It's fine. It's cool. There's 11 of us and 1 of him. There's no way it's picking his stage.
Why don't you try looking again? Hey, we're gonna be playing some Mario Kart tonight. You want in?
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh, also, it's just gonna be Shy Guys only tonight, so just make sure to pick Shy Guy.
Oh, no, never mind. I can't make it.
Well, why not?
I gotta race with my Waluigi Wiggler combo if I want to place well.
Oh, here we go.
You don't understand, okay? Before, I was a nobody, getting 5th, 6th, maybe even lower.
Nah,
Now,
he's a tryhard. He has to always
I'm
place
getting
high.
first place consistently.
Look, man, we're just trying to have fun, okay? You can change the character, no problem. You won't notice a difference. You can keep the Roller Wiggler combo. It's not a problem.
No, it's a big problem. Shy Guy, lightweight. Waluigi, heavyweight. Do you see the problem here? I'm not gonna be able to race with a lightweight. It's gonna throw everything I know how to whack, and it's not gonna be a good time. I'm not gonna be able to...
I totally get it. I know about the tryhard mentality. I can't play and not win. I can't play and not win. I had friends like this in the Street Fighter community. Like, literally, every single time that you would play, they have to pick the top tier character. They have to absolutely try to dominate. God, we're just doing casual play. We're trying new characters. We're dicking around. No, must pick fucking Sagat in vanilla Street Fighter 4. Must dominate you. Like, dude, can you just chill for a second? We're just messing around. No, the person who played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 never had a fuck around team. Only picked a super top tier team, right? Yeah, I totally get that mentality. All right. Guys, it's been a great show so far this week. Good variety of stuff. We got one more part coming. Thanks for being a great audience. And when I see you next time, it's time for the finale of DSP versus the Internet. See you then.